Well, if you're ever a little bit nervous about how hard you can prune a shrub, stick around, watch this video, because we are going to be really savage with these two beautiful shrubs here that are in the school garden and have been thriving for probably 10 years or more, but they've outgrown their situation, particularly this one here. This is Choiya Sundance, or a type thereof. Lovely golden foliage, particularly in summer. This is actually being filmed in early March, so the leaves have faded a little bit over winter, and we've got some flower buds there. They have these lovely kind of clusters of glossy white flowers later in the spring, but we're not going to get many flowers this year because I'm going to cut this right back. Can you see what's happening here? It's actually leaning right over the wall, and we've blocked some light out of some of the windows here, and you can just see how much it's kind of leaning across, and some of those stems are starting to split now. So we're going to cut right back down into those stems there, those branches, and you can see that there are some new shoots coming from the root there, and I reckon there's life in those branches too. So and we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to cut that Fatsia there back by about half and try and hide the stumps amongst the new growth that's starting from the base. So let's get started. Stick with us and let's see how we get on. Right, here we are. We've come inside the canopy of the plants here. This is Roger reporting from in the jungle, and here are the kind of the stumps that are pretty dead looking, and this one here has definitely got to go, but we're going to cut them all back. And I was half tempted, can you see this shoot here? I was half tempted to kind of cut back just in front of that shoot so that we know we've got some green leaf here, but I think we need to go back and create a new kind of central core to this plant. So I think what I'll do actually with this pruning saw is just do a little cut underneath, so that when we get so far through from the top, hopefully it won't split. So just making it more likely that we can get a nice clean cut as we go through from the top. So I've done that, and now let's see if those two cuts meet. Trying to do this one-handed as I'm filming with the left hand, as ever, is a challenge. Here he goes. There we are. Now this one might not be so easy because he's got a branch underneath him that's kind of in the way. I'm just seeing if I can get... No, I'm going to have to just go from the top and tidy up. So I'm going to do this from the top, and might have to just tidy up afterwards if it starts to split, because I'm not able to cut underneath and get that nice clean cut. As it starts to go, sometimes if you do some hefty cut through so that it quickly finishes the cut. He's starting to go now. So just a little bit of a split there. Right, so we've got two branches off. This one here was actually resting on the ground, so what I've done is I've dug some of the soil out from underneath so that I can... Oh, not quite enough. I want to be able to dig some of that soil out so I can get my my blade underneath. There we are. Now I can get underneath and do a cut under there just to prevent that splitting as we go through from the top. And I'm hoping that I can, there we go, as I come in from the top I can slice the end off. There we go. I'll have a cut there. Just a little reminder for those of you that haven't seen my videos before, I'm a firm believer that a few grunts, a few sound effects can really help Oh, come on. There you go. What a difference that made, having a little bit of a grunt and a groan. So we got 3 reasonably clean cuts, and I've got another branch here that I can use my my loppers on. There we go. So that's the first one done, and we've got some shoots there which are now for the first time in their lives going to see the light of day, and I'm going to actually just top them off. I'm going to cut them off so that we don't get one great big long stem. What we want is some nice side shoots off there now. So where's my secateurs? Okay, let's take him down to about there, and there we are. You can see either side of where those leaf, you can see either side of the stem there where those leaf stems join the main stem. There's little shoots just waiting to start to grow out, so I'm expecting lots of little side shoots off there. And believe it or not, there's probably quite a few dormant buds in these stems here that we've cut. So where are we now? Early March. Let's have a look. I reckon by about early May we should start to see some new growth on here. Just going to take those dead tips off there as well. There we are. So now it's time to have a look at the Fatsia. This is the castor oil plant, and this one is kind of helping us. If you have a look along the stem, you can see that there are shoots from those dormant buds already. I'm going to take it back down a bit harder than that to see there's more shoots coming down the bottom of that stem as well. So I think, well, we'll try it there first. We'll try it there first of all, and see how it looks. I don't like seeing ugly stumps, that's the only thing. So if when we cut it back there it doesn't look right, we'll cut it back a bit harder. There we go. Using my trusty loppers. That one landed on my head. So there's the first one down. There we are. We're making some progress. That stump is bugging me. It's a shame because there's some lovely shoots just coming there, but I don't like to look at stumps like that. So further down there's shoots coming from there as well, so I'm going to cut back to here somewhere so that we're not looking at those stumps, and then I'm going to attack those remaining branches, and let's see how we're looking after that. Well, there we are. We've generated a fair amount of debris. That'll keep me busy for a while, but I feel that's going to make a lovely domed mound of new growth there, that Fatsia. We've got one little stump that you can just about see, but most of the stumps have been hidden by the leaves that are left there, and that's just bursting with life, waiting to grow. And it'll probably give us some flowers. They flower in the autumn. And not looking quite so promising is the Choiya just there, which is really just one shoot and a couple of stumps. But I'll report back later in the year and we'll see if we get some new growth on that. I'm pretty sure we will. If you are thinking that you want a more compact variety of Choiya, let me just flag up this one here. This is one of the kind of the Aztec group of Choiyas, which are much more compact growing. This one's probably been in about 6, 7, 8 years, and it has that same cluster of white flowers. There's the flower buds there, and this golden growth will be a much brighter gold when you get the new growth in the spring in a few weeks time. So that's one called Choiya Aztec Gold. There's a few golden Aztec types, which are, say, much more inclined to keep a nice neat domed shape, much easier to control. So any questions that you have, any experiences, we'd love to hear from you, and the best way to contact us is through the comments section on this here YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, before you go, one other thing, a bit of fertilizer. Now that we've pruned, the plant's going to go into growth mode, so we're going to put some balanced fertilizer on there, a nice mix of nitrogen, phosphate and potash. I'll probably use my favorite slow release fertilizer on there so that we give that foliage a nice boost of life early into the spring. Oh, and in the words of Lieutenant Colombo, just one more thing. The best time to do a hard prune like this is, for me, I would say, particularly with evergreens, is in the early spring. Because whenever you prune, the plant's natural response is to put on a flush of new growth. So if you're considering doing this in the kind of the late autumn, early winter, I would say consider hanging on until the spring, because if you cut it back in the autumn or the early winter, you might find you're encouraging lots of soft, lush new growth in the winter, which will get knocked about and could get severely damaged, could actually kill the plant if we had a very cold snap then. So we've left this kind of overgrown all over winter, and now we've given it a seriously hard cut back, so that all that fresh new growth that comes on in the spring and early summer has got plenty of time to kind of ripen and toughen up before the winter weather comes in again. Hope that makes sense, and good luck in your gardens. Enjoy them.